Hey everybody, there is a Facebook group. It's called Lake Merritt Lake Neighbors, and as you can see, it's public. Anyone can see who is in the group and what they post, and it's visible. Anyone can find this group. So I don't like to have a lot of exchanges here. I would prefer to blog, and the reason is that this is a platform that is privately owned by Facebook, and Mark Zuckerberg makes a great deal of money on these exchanges. This exchange happens to be rather, I think, intellectually valuable for those who are concerned about crime in Oakland. And to cut to the chase, Jason Riemann here was responding to was initially my post on the Oakland budget problem, stating it's really a pandemic problem. In this instance, although the council member Kaplan was using this pandemic to essentially point to what is a problem in terms of Oakland Police Department spending, but look, it was exacerbated by the fact that we don't have a lot of money. But it's not the only department that's spending, and it's not to defend the police or attack them. It's just to state what is. So, at any rate, he was saying that I've seen it. I get you. The OPD overspending was outrageous this year, and I said that it's been going on for years. Malcolm Miller made $2,500,000 as an Oakland police officer for the last 5 years alone. He's just one example. And then he says OPD has had ridiculous overspending over the years. True. He says we can't afford to help unhoused people or provide jobs to the poor or safe outdoor education kids because we're spending all our money to appease gentrifiers and fears. But where I'm pointing at to him is that these calls don't come from people who were moved in who have money or rich. That's wrong. I've been in Oakland since '74. They call from people in the area who are poor, who need help from the crime, and they call the police to help. And I said that's not true. And though he says gentrifiers live in the Flatlands area too, and I just simply said check call data. But let me just be a bit more blunt, because I simply said that his view was reductionist. He wants to blame everything on gentrifiers. And I was saying that, and he says my review is reductionist. It's not all poor people, not all people in the Flatlands are poor. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that the majority of people who make calls to the police are poor because the majority of people who live in the Flatlands in Oakland are lower middle class and poor even to this day. And so if you want proof, all you have to do, if you know Oakland, is look at the map here. This is a crime mapping. And again, if you know Oakland, you also know that people live in the hills up here by the many thousands. But there are no crime map incidents, which means there are no calls to respond to up here, almost no calls to respond up here. Let's widen this out, okay? That's a bit too much. Well, there, okay? And then go like that, all right? See? All of these in the hills, right here, Piedmont, up here, off of, that's the Warren Freeway. And as you know, Montclair is up here. There are homes all back in here. All back in here are homes. You probably live up here. Look at the extreme few number of calls reported versus here. And this is just December 15th to December 21st, just the last in 7 days. If in 429 records, if we expanded this outward, it would be more of the same. And so the mass majority of calls are in not only in Oakland, but also look at the bunch that are in central, east, and east Oakland. And these in blue are thefts. They're motor vehicle thefts. Okay? These are motor vehicle thefts. And these thefts can occur, it happen to anyone regardless of income. These are motor vehicle thefts. By the lake, they tend to be less motor vehicle thefts. And unfortunately, Adams Point, here, they tend to be robberies, and toward West Oakland here, where the fist is, assaults. Okay? But even then, they're fewer in number here. And now I understand this is a sample size, but if I extended it outward, it would just be more of the same. Oakland has had a hills flatland income dichotomy for all the time that it's existed, because it's always been more desirable to live in the hills. You spend more money to live up there. It's a great view. Okay, so where are you going to find most of your poor people? In the flatlands. And gentrification has not changed that. It has helped displace some people, without question. It's a problem, yes, but we haven't got to the point where Oakland's, overall income has all of a sudden dramatically raised. And not only that, we're in the middle of a pandemic. You have to remember, down here also are homeless people who have cell phones who also can call the police, which is not accurately accounted for in this data. There should be a breakout for the homeless. But one could argue it probably is, just by where the call comes from. Okay? So no, my point is that, first of all, in terms of overspending in Oakland, we have a bureaucratic structural problem. If a person makes a purchase in a department, there's no computer system that blinks that says, hey, this is our immediate budget impact on you if you're making expenditure. It goes to the department head for approval. The department head approves it. That is not something that has an immediate kickback or warning. And so the entire structure of the city's revenue division is to collect money, so much more so than to monitor its expenditures. All right. So structurally, we have a big problem, and I thought it was completely inappropriate for Rebecca to use the moment of pandemic to turn around and just say, hey, you know what? This is all a police issue, when we really do have a problem based on the pandemic. We need to go to the federal government. We need to calculate exactly how much money we need to get out of this situation and stop this warring with each other about stuff, and get to a solution before more and more people are harmed and more people die. That's what I'm getting at. Subscribe to Zenny62 and bookmark oaklandnewsnow.com.